Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rosano, and this is another episode, a brand new episode uh, of the world famous, the University Love, the best podcast in 1, 2, 3 galaxies. But ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves, and we are coming to you live today. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a long time since we have recorded an episode. Ladies and gentlemen, the month of August, I got very busy. Got very busy with work, very busy with the business. Very busy. Very, very, very busy. And so, could not record for a little while. And then last week, I was going to record. And of course, I could not find my microphone because it had been two or 3 weeks. So, but here we are. We're going to start. We're going to continue. We're going to keep this thing moving. We always keep this thing moving. Never stop your feet, Always move forward. But ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to talk about something, of course, very important. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about pure action. Ladies and gentlemen, we all have, I was having a discussion with a guy yesterday, and he was telling me he wanted to build a car. He wanted to, fix up the side of his house. And he wanted to do this and do that and do this and do that. And he had about 20 things he was rattling off the top of his head he wanted to do. And then he said, I might get around to them eventually. Who knows? We'll see. And I thought, that's interesting, And it's what a lot of us do sometimes. We say we're going to do this, we want to do that, we want to do this, we want to do that, You want to create income for yourself, You go to work every day, and you say, man, if I could just figure something out, and you keep snapping your finger and you keep saying, if I just figure it out, and you never get started. And that's the whole concept. The most important thing that anybody, all of us can do. So when you have an idea, when you have a problem, you say, I got this solution, and this is the solution. And then you go, now let me get started. And then you wait, 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 and then you wait. You have to get started. You want to get a move on. You know how in this podcast, I know in order for this podcast to really get the feet moving, we have to start doing interviews, And I'm thinking to myself, now how do because I want to interview people about marketing and about, the online activity and what made them, what ways are they going? I want to find unique people, interesting people that are doing just not the average, I got a Facebook page, Facebook is good, Facebook is cool, but everybody knows if you go on Facebook, but I want to find people that have websites. I want to find people that have apps, all kinds of ways to be online, offline, And so in order for me to do that, I have to actually communicate with people that, hey, I would like to interview you, ... And so I was thinking this whole time that I've been away from you, I was thinking, what can I do? And I say, you know what? I'm going to do things the old-fashioned way, because sometimes when you like, now I highly recommend that when you get an email list and you email the list every day. But when it comes to the person that you want to communicate with, sometimes emails get lost in communication. Sometimes, a text can get lost in communication, but I'm going to find people and I'm going to write them an old-fashioned letter. And I would say, I have this show, Online Marketing Moves, and, we've been around for X amount of years, and I would like to interview you. Do you have the time? Contact me, and I'm going to send letters, And that's what I've written a couple, sent them off, so we'll see. But we're going to start contacting people on the phone, contacting them through the mail. We're going to go the old-fashioned route. Because at the end of the day, listen, I have to bring you the best show possible, and I understand that me talking to you every day is great, but we have to advance the show. We have to advance ourselves, After a while, anything, you have to grow. You either grow or you wither and die. It's just a fact of life. You know how you start off? I give you the perfect example. When I first started truck driving, way back when, they would put me on the Greyhound. They would put me on the bus. They would send me to a place, and you would stay in the cheapy motel. You would stay in the cheap motel with that, and you would probably have somebody sleeping there with you, a stranger you never seen before in your life. And so you would be in there with two people, and you're like, how long you been driving? Like, oh, I just got started. And you would just get started, and away you went, and many people probably wouldn't make it. A lot of people just quit. It's just the way it is. But then eventually you go to another company. You might work there for a year or two. You go to another company, and then you go, how am I going to get here? And they go, well, we can either put you on a bus, or, you can rent a car, or, this, that, and the other. And you go, do I have to room with somebody? And they go, no, you don't have to room with nobody. And you start moving up, and you've been driving long enough, you have more experience, and you're more of a professional, and you go, what's your accommodations for me, And eventually you go to a place, or you might buy your own truck, and you don't have to worry about that, or you can afford, to stay in a nice place. It's just, it's just an evolution of the way things are, Last month, I had to go to Indiana. And in Indiana, I remember I was staying in the Holiday Inn, with the trucking. And I was just like, I remember them days when I was on the Greyhound, staying in a crappy motel. But here I am now, able to afford to stay in a nice place, to drive myself. I don't have to worry about anything. Just drive myself around, able to afford the meal. I'm not like, oh man, I need to get some ramen noodles and save my money, and I'm broke and all this. It's just an evolution. And so everything is an evolution, and it's not about when you're gonna do it. It's why you want to do it, how you're gonna do it. Figuring out just to do it, just to get started. And we all know there's gonna be bumps in the road. There's always gonna be things that happen, but it doesn't matter if you're doing the thing that you want to do or not. There's always gonna be things that happen. Life is always gonna be there. So there's no perfect time to do it. There's no perfect solution. I remember when I was trying to get married to my wife, and I used to always think, what's the perfect time to get married? I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that. And you're never really quite prepared for anything. It's just the way it is. Same thing with the baby. When we had our daughter, it's like, is this the right time? Is this the right time? It's like, just have the baby and everything will work out. You'll figure everything out. And it's just how it is. And the quicker you learn that, the better off you will be. And you'll see. Because when we got married, I don't even think it was a year later, maybe, we started taking care of my mother-in-law on a full-time basis. So, nobody was prepared for that. You know what I mean? And so it happens. Things happen. It is what it is, We figured it out. We make it work, and we ride that thing out, We had a baby during COVID. It was, it is what it was what it was. It was weird times walking around, people with masks on, having a baby, like you're in the Twilight Zone. But, man, we made it all work. 2 years later, got a happy, healthy little girl. She's the greatest, I have a great wife. I have a great, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, mom, dad, mother-in-law. My brother's not so bad. So, I got a beautiful family that I'm very happy to have. I'm very, thankful for them. And so, doesn't matter how things, there's no perfect lineup. There's no perfect solution. There's no perfect timing. Things happen for a reason. It is what it is. You make lemons out of lemonade, and you just move forward, and the more action you take, the more action you do, the better off you will be, If you fire 10 shots, eventually you're going to hit something, But if you only fire one shot, then you have to try to be perfect. And perfection is not obtained, Perfection is not really there. I'll probably talk to you about this before, I've been driving, I drove a truck for 18 years, I've only had one day that I could tell you was absolutely perfect. Like everything went right. Everything went great. And I remember that day like it was yesterday. I drove 530 miles. I drove it in 8 hours. I drove from Texas to Missouri. Boom. Got to Missouri. Got to have dinner with my parents. We had chicken, sweet potatoes, and rolls. And I said, you know what? This is a perfect day. I went to bed. And after that, no perfect day in trucking, okay? Everything has, there's been great days. Don't get me wrong. Every day is a great day. You wake up, you're alive, you're breathing. It's a great day. What you make out of the day is the important thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't get me wrong. I know we was off for a month. Things happen, but we won't go away that long ever again. We'll be back tomorrow with all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rizzano. God bless you. Continue to listen. Continue to watch out for new episodes. Continue to be on the lookout for the interviews. We will get them started sooner than later. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you. And as always, everybody, peace.